Okay, hi everyone. So today's video is a little bit unplanned. It's a little last minute, but I'm going through it a little bit right now, and this is going to be a mixture of me kind of going through all of my binders and maybe reorganizing, downsizing, potentially. This is totally unplanned, so I don't really know what I'm doing here. But like I said, I'll go through all my binders. I'm going to go through all of them one by one, and this is just gonna be like, we're gonna discuss things. I need to talk these things out, so that is what we're doing. The only binders I will not be going through today are Twice and Uptension. I don't plan to do anything with those collections. They're going to be staying as they are, so that is why I won't be like touching them really. We'll see how this goes. So I'm just gonna start off here with my AB6 collection in my boy groups binder. So I will say one thing that I have been feeling lately is that I kind of want to slow down a little bit where like non-alt groups are concerned. I feel like with my collection I'm kind of stretched out in so many different directions, and like it gets to a point where I don't even know what to do sometimes. And so that's another reason why I'm doing this. So where my AB6 collection is concerned, I decided that I am going to collect only hiiii. So I think I mentioned in my like Photocard collection video, which wasn't too long ago, that I will be collecting both hiiii and woojin. And I took a step back from that just because I feel like, especially because I haven't been focusing on this collection specifically lately, that I need to kind of like narrow it down a little bit, if that makes sense, because I don't know, I already like I said, feel like there's just a lot of stuff going on everywhere, and I feel like seeing all the things that I have to collect and catch up on is like deterring me from even thinking about working on the collection. So I decided that for AB6 particularly, I'm going to take out these wound cards and I'm going to try to trade them for hiiii. So yeah, I'm going to take out wounds cards and I'm going to take out this page for woojin and just leave this hiiii page. So that'll kind of lessen the burden there a little bit. I don't really know what I want to do with this page, just because like I'll still need somewhere to put hiii's like AR cards for this album, but I'm going to take these out for now. And I was going to collect all the group cards, but I don't know. I feel like it'd be better if I maybe just left it at this. So maybe I will just take this page out. And then I'll have enough room for like everything I need for hiiii. And then for A New Hope, I am collecting OT4. That's not changing. I do have woojin's cards on the way, so I only have 3 more cards that I need for this collection in total. So that I'm not too worried about. I definitely will be able to finish that eventually. Where units are concerned, I'm not going to be collecting units as much as I wanted to. So I'm just going to take this page out for now. I'll rearrange in a minute. But I'm also going to take out woojin's page for Have a Dream. And just leave hiiii here. And then I think I'll just put this page at the end here. And just have like a cumulative kind of unit page, so that I can just put whatever units I end up with on this page. And that'll be like where it goes. I'm not gonna like super organize this section or anything. And I guess I'll put this one here. And then I can put that here. And then I'm just gonna stick these here. And then if I get any units from Have a Dream, they can go on this page. Yeah, so that kind of, I guess I'll take this page out. So that kind of helps me out on the AB6 front. As much as I want to collect woojin, because I have this like need for some reason, or at least like I always have a thought in the back of my head where I want to have really nice and thorough collections for all of the former 101 members that are active, but I feel like it's not possible. As much as I love all of them and I follow all of their activities and all that, it's just not like super, I can't think of the word, like it's not realistic that I collect them all super thoroughly. But I think for AB6 this is doable. Yeah, so just collecting hiiii. I'm obviously not going to get rid of anything I have before Salute. I just don't feel the need to do that. And then we get to CIX. So I do have some plans to kind of change around this collection a bit, because I do love CIX. I like their music a lot. and I love Jinyoung a lot, but I'm not super into the group beyond kind of surface level, if that makes sense. Like, I just really enjoy their music, and I happen to be a fan of Jinyoung before he was in the group, so yeah, all the love to CIX, but I don't think I'm going to try to fully collect Jinyoung at least anymore. I was gonna try to go for the full collection, you know, but I feel like at this point, again, it's not really super realistic. It's not something I focus on a lot, and it's not really something I worry about at all. And I feel like if I step back from this collection, that it'll ease what I'm feeling a little bit. I don't have any plans to get rid of anything that I have, but I think I'm just going to keep it at what I have right now. I'm not really planning to add, and I mean, they just announced their comeback, so we'll see if I buy the album for that. We'll kind of have to see how that goes, whether I pull any of his cards or I'm able to trade for any of his cards, or maybe I'll just buy some that I really like and that'll be that. Like, I don't plan to completely stop this collection, but I do plan to kind of, I don't know, like, slow it down a little bit. Like, this collection has always been kind of like the least of my worries, and like, I don't know, I don't ever feel super obligated to work on it, so I just don't, you know? And so I'm gonna consolidate this stuff. And I will bring this stuff back, and I like don't plan to get the last card of his that I need from chapter 0. I don't know, I don't really feel the need to have all of this stuff. I will put these back in here for now, but I think once I get more cards, I'll probably take them out. So, like I said, I'm not stopping collecting Jinyoung and CIX completely, but I'll be pretty selective with the things that I do get for CIX. So, yeah. So I'm going to take that page out. And then I'm not really going to do anything with my Daniel collection because I'm already not collecting fully for him. I'm just collecting, you know, things that I like, which is totally valid. I haven't really done any work on his collection, but I mean, like, not a priority, so. And then we get to Jaiwan. So I have to say I've never been too worried about collecting him. He hasn't really had many releases. He's only had 3 since however long ago he debuted, but I have to say that I think this is also something I'm going to take a step back from. I'm not going to get rid of anything, again, like I said before, but I don't think I'll be buying his albums in the future either. I know that I got his Change album super cheap on Mercari Japan. Like, it wasn't that big of an issue, but also I feel like I could be focusing my efforts in other places. And again, like, if there's ever any cards that I really like that I want from him, I'm more than welcome to add them to my collection, but I don't know, I don't feel the urge to collect him anymore. And like, y'all have to know that I will have an eternal love and appreciation for every 101 member. Something's got to give somewhere, so, you know, it is what it is, basically. And then we get to Jihoon. So I haven't really been collecting him from the start, and I've been talking, like, saying I want to go back and get some cards of his that I really like, but I don't think that'll happen. But I think what I will do in the future is that when he has a comeback, I will buy his albums new, or at least sealed at the very least, and I will keep whatever cards I pull. This collection has been sitting like this for the longest time, and I've been telling myself that I'll go get stuff for it, but I just don't, because, like, it's not a priority, which, I mean, that's totally valid. I don't have to buy things for a collection I'm not motivated to collect, so I just haven't. And I think over time this will have, like, more things in it. I kind of regret not buying his Message album sealed, just because the photo cards, I would like to have them, but again, don't really feel the urge to go back and buy any. But I'm hoping that in the future there is stuff added to this. So yeah. And then it's kind of the same thing with Jisung. So I was going to go back and buy stuff for this collection, and I still might, just depending on what I can find if it's cheap, like on Mercari Japan. But I do have Temperature of Love stuff coming. So that is what's going to be added into here, and it'll be like the same thing. If I like some of his cards, I'll buy them, but again, even with his albums, I don't know if I'm going to buy them very much in the future. I don't know. Especially where albums are concerned. I know this is like a Photocard collection type discussion, but I feel like with collecting albums, as much as I like collecting music, like specifically, like I like having physical copies of music, I feel like buying albums that I don't necessarily listen to that often is kind of unnecessary. So, I don't know, I think I definitely will be slowing down my album collecting. I'm not going to buy every single release from, I guess, at least my lower priority collections. I don't know. I take this like day by day and I guess comeback by comeback. But like I obviously make the decision that I feel is best for me at the time when the time comes. I think that is the best thing for me to kind of go by because it kind of ensures that I am happy with the things that I'm buying. But I also think slowing down my album collecting will also help in just letting me enjoy collecting a little more, because I'll also buy albums from groups that I don't necessarily collect but enjoy, if that makes sense. Like, I used to do that a lot more where I'd buy albums that I just simply enjoyed, and I would really like to start doing that again, but not to like a huge degree. Like, I would really like to have Lightsome, their album, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit, but I also would really like to have Pink Fantasy's Alice in Wonderland album, but I want that album so bad, but like I can't really seem to fit it in anywhere because like it's expensive to buy albums new, and I just have other things I need to buy, so it's like really hard to buy the things that I like and buy the things that I want to buy. So it's a little frustrating in that sense that I can't seem to buy the things that I want and that I enjoy just because I have other things that I am buying that I may not even enjoy as much. So that's definitely a conversation. But this page isn't going anywhere. I have this Moojin card from Kingdom, and I have no plans to buy their second album as of now. I have no real plans to like collect them at all, but I mean, as long as I have the album, I'll keep that card probably. I don't know. But that's really all for this binder. You can see that this isn't a 3-inch binder. It doesn't really need to be, but I'm thinking I might add more stuff back into this binder. I'm not entirely sure, or I might, I don't know, we'll see. So next, this binder is another boy groups binder. This is actually a 2-inch binder, and it's a bit, there's not really much in it, to say the least. I had reorganized my binders a little bit, and I didn't really know what to do with my boy groups binder because it was so full. But also, I don't know, I feel like it wasn't really enough to split up in a way that I liked. But anyways, In Fact, there's nothing really going on with In Fact. I finished this collection, so I don't really know if I want to keep this here. We also have my JWJ 95 collection, which I would consider them to be like inactive since they're currently going through a lawsuit with their company, but I don't see them releasing anything, at least for the foreseeable future, so I don't know if I want to move this into a more like, I don't know, in like a more appropriate space where it's like more inactive groups, if that makes sense. But then Onewee, so I had also said that I was going to start collecting Jihoon, but I think that's a bad idea. I'm coming to my senses. So as much as I would really love to collect Jihoon, I feel like it's just really just unrealistic, to say the least. I love Onewee a lot, but I feel like it's just best to stick to my biases and not really go outside of that, especially considering, I don't know, if I keep adding members, I'll just be inclined to start collecting OT5 when, I mean, as much as I want to, it's too much for me. So I really want to stick to my two biases. I haven't taken out the placeholders for Jihoon yet, but I'll do that at a later time. But I still do want to keep these cards. I don't know, at least like for this album. I really like Jihoon's cards for this album, so it's not like I want to get rid of them. But, you know, it's like one of those things of where you like buy cards that you really like. And that's actually, I don't know if I even talked about this yet, but that's something I really want to start doing, is just buying cards from members that I may not collect but really like. And I guess this is one of those cases, but like I don't want to concretely say that I will collect Jihoon because I just don't feel like it. When it came down to it, I didn't feel like buying the cards of his that I was missing, even though it's only 2 cards. So I don't know. I haven't even started working on their new album yet because I just bought it and it just got shipped to me. So I haven't gotten the chance to work on that, and yeah. I will start working on it when I feel like I want to, but as of right now, I'm not really worried about collecting Onewee. I just need to get everything kind of worked out first before I start working on like less priority collections. But this is going to get reorganized. I don't know exactly how I want to do it yet because I think one thing that kind of throws me off a bit is the OT5 sets at the beginning, because I feel like I don't have a good way to organize the other cards like past that, and I feel like it may be because they don't have very many releases yet, so it's a little bit harder for me to like organize in a way that I like. So I don't know, but this is gonna get figured out probably off camera. And then we move on to hiiii. So this is actually one collection that I've been keeping up with. Like, this is obviously fairly new, but I've also really been enjoying collecting Donghan. They're relatively cheap, and I don't really have to worry about whether or not I will be able to find the cards, and I haven't really been buying the albums new, so there's like no need for me to trade and all that kind of stuff. So it's just like, I've really enjoyed collecting hiiii so far, and I've really been enjoying their music so far as well. Like, I think all 3 of their releases have been great. So I mean, like, for now I feel really happy with my hiiii collection, and this is like one collection that I'm surprised even myself that I'm not really doing anything to. As of right now, like, I have the collection for this album complete. It's just not all here yet. I bought everything off Mercari Japan for super cheap, so yeah, this page is just the only thing that's going to look a bit different. I'm not going to be collecting the unit cards because I heard they were a little bit harder to come across, but I do have one of them coming, so this page will probably have some pre-order benefits. Obviously the Polaroids, and then the 1 unit that I have. So yeah, but other than that, like, my hiiii collection I'm really happy with. Like, it's been going really well, so I feel really motivated to collect. Yeah, that's about it. This binder, I don't know, I think I'll probably take my Infact and JBG 95 collections and put them into a different binder, and then put my OneWe and hiiii collections back into kind of like my active boy groups section, or I guess like it was basically just the binder I went through before this one. So it'll look a bit different, but I also took out all of the big inclusions from my binders and put them in their own separate binders, so that also kind of makes things a little bit easier. Like, it also lessens the stress of having to collect all of these bigger inclusions when that's not really what I like to collect or what I'm ever really focused on. And yeah, so I think, yeah, since there's really not anything in here, you can tell there's like nothing in here, so this is gonna get rearranged. I just won't do it on camera. So next binder is my girl groups binder. So this is another thing. So for Blackpink specifically, I don't plan to do anything with this collection. This is gonna stay the same. There's not really much going on. I only collect album things anyways, so this is staying the same. I have Brave Girls, which again is not going anywhere. This collection I just recently was able to start back up, and I'm really happy about it. So this is staying, of course. I am really close to having finished everything for this. Again, I'm gonna have to figure out if I want to take the bigger inclusions out of this binder, because I don't know about that. But and then we have CLC. So as much as I don't want to admit it, I feel like my collection for them has come to an end. I mean, like, ugh, this is too frustrating to talk about, but anyone can tell that they're probably not gonna have another release, and if they are, it's not gonna be for a while. So this is, I'll probably eventually take this collection out of here. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm still gonna keep it, of course, but I feel like there's no real need to keep it in this binder, just because one thing I really like is having all of my active collections in one place and all of my inactive collections in a different place, because I feel like it makes me feel like I'm collecting less, because if I kind of have the inactive collections out of sight, it's like out of sight, out of mind, kind of, in a way. Not like literally. If I don't see it while I'm flipping through all of these other collections, or I'm putting things away and doing work on them, it makes me less stressed to see the inactive collection. So this one again is probably one I will take out. I reorganized this a little bit and kind of gave Seunghee her own section and took out her cards from like the OT7 sections. So I just have like the other 6 members in different places. So yeah, this is gonna probably be relocated at some point. And it's kind of the same thing with Daya. So I'm led to believe that they're going to have a comeback soon. Yebin just put out her solo, and she said that she was going to prepare for a group comeback after that, but who knows how truthful that statement is, because we were supposed to get a Daya comeback in January, but I mean, it's July and obviously nothing. So it'll be interesting to see if we get anything, but again, this is something I think I want to take out of here, just because obviously Somi's not in the group anymore, and since she was my bias and the person that I collected, I feel like it's kind of not necessary to keep everything in here. I'll probably, like, if Daya has a comeback in the future, I will try to collect Yebin, but again, it wouldn't be that big of a priority, because like, as much as I love Daya, like, I love Daya to death, in general, like, it's really disheartening when a group is super inactive and you don't hear anything from them very often. It's just really disheartening, and a lot of the times it just kind of makes me want to give up in a certain way. And I don't mean to make this like super negative, because I love Dai a lot. I will always support them, but also like I already said all that stuff before, like it's just a lot. And I'm someone that tends to get really emotional about my favorite groups, so if things aren't necessarily going right or like in a direction that I think is like reasonable, I just tend to get really sad about it and don't really want to think about it, so you know. But then we have my Itsy collection. So my Itsy collection is actually the last collection in this binder, and it takes up probably the majority of it. Like, it's definitely my biggest collection in here. I don't plan to do anything with this collection because I actually really enjoy collecting Itsy a lot. In general, I just love Itsy a lot, and I would say they're probably very high up on my list of favorite groups now. This is a collection I really enjoy and cherish, and it's not something I want to give up on because it's just a joy to collect them. It's like the same way I feel about collecting Twice. Like, it's such an easy thing and it's not something I have to worry about, and if I have to buy cards or if I want to buy cards, like I can. They're not that expensive. So overall, like, my Itsy collection is probably one that I'm most happy with, so this is staying. But again, these collections up here, not too sure about. But yeah, Brave Girls is obviously staying forever. I feel so lucky that I finally get the chance to collect them again. Okay, so moving on to this binder here. So this is actually more of a inactive collections binder. So this is where I'm considering putting more of my collections, you know, the ones that I've already discussed. So we have IZ*ONE here. Even though this collection isn't technically complete, I'm still working on a little bit. It is for the most part finished. Obviously IZ*ONE is disbanded, so that's going nowhere. IOI we have here. This binder I'm just kind of glossing through a little bit. And then we have Newies here. So if you watched my collection video that I posted not too long ago, you'd have seen the A5 binder that I had, or like the mini binder. I don't know if it's technically A5, but it was a mini binder. And I put a lot of extra stuff in there, and I basically took all that stuff out and put it in this binder. I had that binder because I was kind of using it in the meantime while I got the chance to like go to the store and get some more binders. And like a couple days after I filmed my collection video, I was able to go get some new binders. So that is why I put everything back in here. But we have like the few Newies cards that I'm keeping, my small and technically incomplete Pristin collection, and Unity, and Shia. My We in the Zone collection is in here. I took out all of the bigger inclusions because I didn't feel like they needed to be here. But I also separated out all of Jihoon's cards since he was my bias, and then put the rest of the members' cards back here. And then we have the few X1 things that I have left still. So I just decided to keep these few things and like these fan site cards plus these. Just because I don't know, like I don't collect Hangul anymore. I still like really haven't gotten too into his group yet. I don't know if I will, so I've kind of given up on collecting him. I mean, yeah, like as much as I love Hangul, I'm not collecting him anymore, so I just kept the few things that I wanted to keep of him. And then I just have some extra cards here, and yeah, that's basically it for this collection. Obviously, I plan to add more to this, and this will probably upgrade to like a 3-inch binder or something as I kind of rearrange a little bit more. But I have plans to start collecting, I think I already mentioned this, but I want to start buying cards that I simply just like, and it doesn't have to necessarily be someone I collect or stuff like that. So I actually plan to start collecting Jaiwan from Lightsum a little bit. I do like Lightsum's debut a lot, and I really love the concept and everything, and I don't know the group super well, but I do know Jihoon and Nayoung along with Jaiwan, obviously. Jaiwan I've really loved since Produce 48, so while I'm not committing to collecting her fully, I do want to start collecting cards of hers that I really like. So I did buy both of her album cards and one of her Make Star cards. I might buy a few more of her pre-order benefits, but I'm not really focusing on it. If I can find ones, like, if I can find some of the ones that I really like for okay prices, I might buy them, but since she's not the hugest priority, I'm not going to really worry about collecting her super thoroughly. And I made the deal with myself that I could collect her as much as I want for as long as I want, but if it ever gets to a point where I don't want to collect her, like I won't. Like if they come out with an album and I'm not a huge fan of either of the cards, then I don't like any of the cards and I don't have to buy them. So like my Jaiwan collection is going to be super chill. As long as I like what I'm doing there, that collection will continue. So that's actually something you'll see coming up in a in a new video coming soon, I'll discuss that more. But yeah, that was basically it for this collection. I actually think I am going to go through my NCT collection because I want to discuss that a little bit, and then this video will be finished. I kind of rambled a lot more in this video than I was expecting, so if you watched this, thank you. I'm just really trying to figure things out in my head, and like I really want to get more back into a place of collecting where I'm like really excited, because I feel like sometimes it can really get to a point where you're just going through the motions with collecting and not super thoroughly enjoying everything that you're doing. And I just want to get to that place where I'm like really super excited about everything that I'm buying, and I don't want to feel like I have to buy anything. This discussion is something that really needs to happen with me. I feel like a lot of the times, no matter what, if I type out my feelings, anything like that, if I don't physically say it, it feels like I'm not really letting out my concerns. And since I have this YouTube channel, it really helps me to kind of vocalize all of my thoughts and stuff when it comes to my collection. And I never really expect anyone to listen to me ramble or anything like that, but it does help me a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna move on from this binder. So here is my NCT binder. I say this all the time, but I really thoroughly enjoy collecting NCT. They're one of my alt groups. I feel like if I were to kind of rank my current alts, and when it comes to kind of like alt groups, I don't necessarily consider like disbanded groups part of my kind of bias lists, if that makes sense. Just because since they're not active, it doesn't really make sense to add them as much as I may love them. Like with Hotshot, since they're disbanded, even though they will forever be my #1 group, I don't really add them onto the list. I guess collecting them concerns, because I don't know, it doesn't really mean anything. Like I personally know that I will always love them with my whole entire heart, and I will probably never love a group as much as I loved Hotshot. But I mean, it's not really necessary to talk about them anymore where collections are concerned. So I would say, like, with that in mind, my top groups currently would be NCT would probably be my #1, and then Obtention would be my #2 for like alts. I just really enjoy collecting NCT, and I've just always really enjoyed letting myself do like whatever I want with my NCT collection, because as much as I would really love to collect like full group OT23, it is really like, it would be really expensive. So I've always just kind of tried to do what I can in the past to like include all members in my collection, like in some way. It has been confirmed that NCT 127 are planning on having a comeback with a full album in September. So I've recently made kind of like my last purchases before I try to save up for this comeback, because as much as I want to stick to just collecting to my main 3 127 members, it probably won't turn out that way. It'll obviously make a difference if I consider like what the inclusions will be like, but I can only assume I'll want to collect more than just the basic kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of planning ahead for that. That's obviously something I will be focusing on, but also I have recently kind of expanded my NCT Dream collection a little bit. So as you know, like Jeno is my bias. I would actually kind of say that Mark is more of my dream bias, but I feel like, I don't know, I don't really know how to phrase this. Like, I feel like I definitely bias both of them, like they're both at the top of the list. I love all the members, but I feel like Mark is kind of my top bias out of all the dream members. It's kind of hard to talk through my NCT bias list because it's a little bit difficult, but yeah, so I am collecting both Jeno and Mark for Dream now. I don't plan to collect Mark for like 127, but if I get the chance, there's no saying I won't collect him, but I'm not going to fully collect him at any point. Like, I'm not going to go back and collect him fully for Dream, and I'm not going to go back and collect him fully for 127, just because that's too expensive. Like, moving forward, I'd really like to continue collecting him for NCT Dream, and that's about it. I finished Hot Sauce pretty easily. This collection is all complete. I have everything at the Neokia warehouse, so it's all coming. But for Hello Future, something I plan on doing is, like, I really love the concept for Hello Future, so I want to collect a little bit more than just Mark and Jeno. So my plan, if I can actually do it, like execute it well, I plan to obviously collect Mark and Jeno, all their cards, and then I plan to collect 1 card per member for the other members that I don't really collect, and then I want to collect the full Dream Agent set. So I'm kind of working out the logistics to see if that'll work, but as of right now, I do have Mark's cards secured, at the very least, I think. So I need to work on getting Jeno's, and then after I get Jeno's, I will work on getting the last 2 cards that I need for, or it's like 2 or 3 cards that I need for like the normal album cards, and then I'll still need to get a few of the Dream Agent set. I have some more albums on the way, so I'm kind of waiting on getting those before I really do any trading or buying. But like, especially with the Dream Agent cards, I'm just kind of seeing what I get for those before I start trading and buying. So I feel like eventually I will have a Hello Future collection that I really am happy with. So yeah, and like you can see that I expanded that collection a lot, especially with Hot Sauce, like collecting 2 members plus this full set. That was actually really fun and I really enjoyed it and it made me very happy to do so. Yeah, I feel like just expanding my dream collection to something I'm really happy with is a good thing. But also the same thing with like 127, like I'm kind of hoping that they do the whole like set of cards kind of like Dream did, like with the Cafe 7 Dream and the Dream Agent cards. I'm really hoping that 127 will do something like that because I really enjoy collecting those kinds of cards. Like if I can collect a full set and it's not too hard, like that is like something I'd really like to do. Just because I feel like collecting NCT, the cards, is just so hard otherwise. And like if I can collect a full set, I'd always really love to. So hopefully that is something that'll come to fruition in the way that I want it to. Also, you may have noticed, I don't know if you can see it all that well, but I do have these holographic sleeves where fillers are in some of my binders. I did get 1 pack of these from like AliExpress just because they were cheap and I wanted to see if there was anything I could do with them to incorporate them into my binder, and that was what I kind of came up with. I think I like it because it adds like kind of a layer of dimension to my binders and it's just kind of fun. So I'll probably get more and like do that throughout all my binders, but for now I don't have enough for that. But yeah, I'm honestly really excited to see my NCT collection grow because since I've kind of declared them my top group, they're definitely my top priority when it comes to collecting. I definitely want to just add more. Collecting NCT makes me so happy. It is so fun. Regardless of if it can be stressful sometimes, I just get a lot of fulfillment from it. So with that said, I think that was all I wanted to really discuss in this video. I know this was a ramble and I know this is probably way too long. If you watched this whole thing, thank you. Definitely leave me your comments. I always really like to hear what you guys have to say, whether it be regarding your own collection or regarding something I said, you know, just definitely let me know your thoughts. But yeah, that was everything for this video. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next one.